If you are the president of Nigeria today, what are the 5 things you will do to make Nigeria the Nigeria that has been made?
Wait until I become the president. However,
Welcome to Nexus TV, your home for authentic information from the world of sports. Enjoy unmatched entertainment, education, and information only on Nexus TV, your home for multi-purpose content. Subscribe now and stay informed. This is Nexus TV.
All right, everybody, welcome to Nexus TV. Welcome to a brand new video. My name is Solomon, and this is Nexus TV. Some of you must have watched a lot of our political reality content where only me happen to be on set every day. But today, the game has changed. I have someone in the studio with me. His name is Mr. Ogwu Jalija. He's an author, the writer of one book I have read, and I would like you to go and read for yourself also. The book titled Nigeria, A Nation in the Making. So I would like you to go on Amazon and look for that book to read by yourself. I'll leave the link in the description of this video. But before then, I would like you to listen to this conversation we are going to be having today. And again, this is Political Reality with Ogwu Jalija on Nexus TV. The book talks about the Nigeria democracy, where he discussed about power, money, and politics. I am curious today on this video to know why he chose that topic amongst all the whole other topic and other things that's faced Nigeria as a problem. Welcome to the studio today, Mr. Ogwu Jalija.
thank you, sir. Mr.
Can you tell
Solomon.
us why you choose to write about Nigeria from this angle?
Thank you so much for having me. Why I choose the topic, it has been my dream to have a better Nigeria. The book is not about any political party. It's not about any government. It's not about any politician. But the book entails how can Nigeria be moved forward? And that is what the book is all about. And you mentioned the issue of the politics, power, and money. In the discussion of the book, you have a lot to read about it. But however, the book summarizes that in addition to having money, power, and politics, integrity matters a lot for you to have these 3 concepts to work for you as a politician. Are you getting it? So, in addition to what you were asking also, I also want you to know that, yes, the topic, Nigeria, a nation in the making, is not as if Nigeria is not moving. What brought the idea is that every country make progress day by day. And as a result of that, when we say Nigeria, a nation in the making, is that where we are yesterday is not where we are today. And it's not where we are supposed to be that we are now. And that is the idea of Nigeria, a nation in the making. By the grace of God, it is expected that the democracy we are practicing now is taking us to where we want to be. And this can only be done if there's equity, if there's justice, and if there's fairness. And I think with all these concepts, the nation that we are calling making now, we can call it tomorrow a nation that has been made.
Wow. Okay, talking about the politics we're practicing now, taking us to where we are actually meant to be. If you look at what the trends, we've seen that a lot of young Nigerians happen not to have a lot of trust in government anymore. So what encouragement do you have to give to them to win their trust in government back?
No, my book has nothing to do with this administration or to win the trust
I'm talking
of
about
government back.
the democracy we are.
Yes.
I'm talking about the democracy we are having now.
Yes,
right?
yes, that is what I'm saying. The book, let me go tell you the story about the book.
All right.
The book lasted for about 15 to 16 years before the publication. So that's why I said it's not about this administration.
So it means you must have observed.
I've observed so many governments, right from so many governments, succession governments, one administration to another administration, one administration to another administration, before I was able to publish the book.
Okay, so now, since you've observed several governments, several administrations from one to another, what is this similarity that gives you this confidence that Nigeria is moving towards this good direction that is taking us to where we are supposed to be?
Yes,
similarity?
Yes. I'm not here to give similarity or comparative of the government previous or the current administration.
All right.
What I'm trying to say in essence that from the book and my personal experience from the book is that Nigeria is growing. Nigeria is making progress. But where we are now, this is not where we expected to be. And because this is not where we expected to be, the book provides solutions that if we imbibe it, it can take us to the next level, which is where we want to have a nation, but not a nation in the making.
Okay, now you talk about power in that book, right? We've seen abuse of power in office. We've seen where people use power to also do good things. What is it about power that you talk about in this particular book?
In this particular book, power was discussed extensively. But what the summary of it is that be careful when you have power. That is a transist. That where you are today with the power, what you do with the power matters a lot. Because for the fact that you have the power today does not mean you have the power tomorrow. And does not mean you have the power forever. So power is transition. And that is what the book brings out, that be careful. When you have power today, have it at the back of your mind that you may not have the power tomorrow.
All right, so for some of you that are watching, you are Nigerians. You understand very well how power can be very transient, right? We've seen some politicians who are in office who operate with high authority. We see some governors, we see some ministers. We've even seen some presidents who are not longer as powerful as they used to be. Be careful when you have power. But then we can talk about money, right? You also talk about money and politics. What is the role of money? How is money influencing our politics and our power dynamics?
No, I think what was discussed in the book about the money is that if you want to acquire power, the first thing that comes to your mind is that there is need for you to have money. The money makes you to have influence. The money can help you also to have the structure for power, because power is all about structure, and it's only the money that can give you the structure. And that is why once you don't have structure, you cannot acquire power.
Wow. So we're talking about politics now, because that is the center of this conversation. Political reality, right? The politics of Nigeria today, though we see that good things are happening, government is making good policies, though people are not seeing the good side of the policies that government is making right now. Though we see that the first subsidy has been removed, is a good policy that can impact Nigeria economy positively, but it might take time, just like government is also saying. And we've seen like so many things that is happening in government now that can add good impact to our democracy, our economy, and even our coexistence as Nigerians. You know, we are very dynamic as a nation. What is the state of our politics today, and what do you think your book can address?
I think let me address this properly first. I'm not here to discuss government policies. I'm here to talk about the politics in the book. So I think you really need to...
Okay, you can also give us the politics in the book. What do you think? What is this politics in the book? What do you talk about politics in this book? Because I think the viewers also will like to know. What are you talking about? Because you talk about power, you talk about politics, and you also talk about money, right? So since you are not here to talk about what the government is doing right now, the government policies, and you're not here to talk about the current administration, as you said earlier, you can also tell us what is it about politics you talk about in that book.
In the book, it was clear there that everywhere there is politics. But one thing is key. For the fact that you have the structure to play the politics. Remember, nobody survives in politics if you don't have what we call the negotiators, the power brokers. And this is where politics comes from. And in some cases, those that gives power through politics, you may not even look at them as people that give power. In most cases, policymakers or those that appoint kings are not kings. It's only politics that can make you to go closer to the kingmakers so that they can make you the king.
Just for us to round this conversation, right? The book has been in the making for almost 16 years before the publishing, right? So what is it? What have you observed within this period? What is the summary really of this book?
The summary is that we need one another to make Nigeria great. That is the summary of the book. We need one another to make Nigeria great. We need peace to make Nigeria great. We need justice and fairness to make Nigeria great. And that is the only thing that can make Nigeria to become where we want Nigeria to be. And I think God will give us the opportunity to change the title of the book from Nigeria in the making to Nigeria has been made.
Right. I don't know if you'll be comfortable answering this question, but I think I would like you to answer it. If you are the president of Nigeria today, what are the 5 things you will do to make Nigeria the Nigeria that has been made?
Wait until I become the president. But however,
Yeah.
if the opportunity is there in the future or at any time, or let me speak based on the book, I think the summary of the book, which I titled Let There Be, apart from the democracy that we are practicing, we can change it to equitocracy. I think that was the final word in the book. We can practice equitocracy, whereby there will be fairness, there will be justice, there will be equity for all the tribes in Nigeria.
Okay, so it means in one word now, if you are the president of Nigeria, the one thing that can be like 5 things that you will do is to practice equitocracy, not democracy.
Even if we are practicing democracy, let the equitocracy be imbibed in the democracy. Because I know that there's no government that is really practicing, or there's no concept of government that is called equitocracy. But the truth of the matter is that when we are practicing democracy, the concept of equitocracy will make your democracy to stand.
But do you think that can really be possible in a nation like Nigeria?
It's my dream.
It's a dream.
Yes.
It's a dream to make Nigeria like a nation that practices equitocracy.
It's my dream.
Regardless of our dynamism, if there's anything like that, right?
Exactly.
So, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for staying with us. I think this conversation should not end here. There's more to be uncovered, right? There's more to talk about. I'll make sure to talk to him so he can come back to the studio next time to give us full details of how this equitocracy can be practiced in this nation that is still in progress, right? Till I see you again in the next video. My name is Solomon and this is Nexus TV. Please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that whenever we come here live, upload any new video here, you will be the first to see it.
Nexus TV, your home for multi-purpose content. Subscribe now and stay informed. This is Nexus TV.